What's good, people? It's about that time to randomly relate, reverse rants, no hate. Now, I want to do something. I want to revisit Anthony Joshua early in his career. I want to point out a couple of things about the way he used to fight. We're not going to watch a whole lot of it. I want you guys to, for one, look at how his confidence was so high back then. Look at how he actually stalked guys, he walked them down. Even if he took a shot, he wasn't afraid to get hit. He'd come right back. Now, Anthony Joshua, as we know, what happened with him and Ruiz, the things that we actually expect of him, a whole lot of it he used to do. But, after the Andy Ruiz fight, we saw what happened. Somewhere in there, it's like AJ just got too nice. You understand? Now, boom. Throw the jab. Boom. Look at how he jabs even when he's backing up. Now look at how much quicker he's throwing these punches. Now we know this is not the stiffest of competition, but this is like AJ's first fight on up. This is going like showing, he's fighting guys. No, these wasn't the best fighters in the world. Let's not be stupid. We know that. But he still was green, and they had a lot more experience than he did. But just look at the relentlessness. Now, this Anthony Joshua right here, really the biggest issue that he had, the biggest issue that Anthony Joshua had back then was really just stamina, getting gassed out. But just look at how the head movement was. Look how he used the jab, double jab. He throw the jab. I love that. He throw the jab. Look at the rapid fire. You see, he doesn't do that shit anymore. He doesn't do that anymore. And he threw his punches. The reason why he was throwing his punches faster because he was a lot more confident. And I love when he throw the jab and he throws the jab because he slides back. Now these guys that he's fighting, like I said, yeah, they're not the best fighters, but this is a green Anthony Joshua. Look at him working the body considerably. This guy, he doesn't even want anymore. He used to work the body. He mixed it up a little better. And I think he too, because he was knocking all these guys out, maybe AJ, even though he's constantly training and learning and trying to learn, that he was pretty much got complacent with getting knockouts. Look at him, even on his toes a little bit. Quick shot to the body and back up. Look at how fast he's throwing. This is what Anthony Joshua is missing. That shit right there. He's missing a couple of things, but that right there is all because of his confidence. He throw the shot, his opponent fire, he just flips his head just slightly, comes right back with the counter. That right there, he's missing those combinations. He's missing the rapid fire combinations. His confidence is not there. Look at how different he was. When is the last time you seen Anthony Joshua throw anything like that? That right there, this is when I'm watching him even fight Usyk. Like, you're gonna have to do that type of shit. You're gonna have to give Usyk something to worry about coming in. If Usyk can just walk in, then pretty much, and you're trying to time him and trying to play chess with him, you're not gonna win. Now, I feel like if Anthony Joshua would have had this type of confidence, even in the rematch with Andy Ruiz, he was being cautious, and I give him credit because look, he didn't go in there and fold. He just fought him a completely different way than he fought him the first time. And for one, nobody could ever picture Anthony Joshua really fighting that way, but he did. But that relentlessness, see, he had that meanness now. And I think that as you go up through the ranks, and everybody he gained fast so quickly, fans so quickly. I think that inside you know, he wanted to be loved. He wanted to be accepted. He wanted that. Quick little combination on the inside. Look how he worked the body. Get his hands back up quick. And he give you something to worry about. Because even when you throw a shot and he throws and miss, you come back, he comes back as well. So he know you can't, he letting you know you're not going to just come straight in here. There's something coming. You have not seen Anthony Joshua throw shots that vicious in years. We have not seen this Anthony Joshua. Why am I showing this? Is because people forget what he used to be able to do. And they're talking how like AJ never had skills. Teddy Atlas just had a video saying he's overrated and who is he beating? Yet he has the best resume in the heavyweight division. So I'm like, he's tripping on that. But at the end of the day, right? Everything that you do at one point, like we see a fighter using the jab, then all of a sudden it's like he just abandons the jab. Now look at how the guy's he's making AJ miss some shots, right? Now look at what I'm saying. Look at AJ. AJ even ate a shot, but he's coming back like, okay, this AJ now would retreat. And he'd cover up. Now, mind you, this is a green AJ. Look, getting on his toes when he have to, right? Just to slow the guy's momentum down. This AJ right here was ready for war. A man is a man. And even though we have different levels of skill, bottom line is this AJ, if he got caught with a shot, he got caught with a shot. But he's ready to go in there and rumble. This AJ right here, this is that killer instinct he needs back. And I feel like, I don't know if he ever watched any of his old fights, but the mindset he has, he might even tell himself, yeah, but the guys I'm fighting now are better than these guys. True. And that's where we give you so much credit, because you came up fighting against guys that still had way more experience than you did. You gave a lot of guys their first loss. You fought guys that had losses and they retired after fighting you. But at the same time, just the point of here you are. This is a green Anthony Joshua. Tell me he doesn't look much better now than he does now. When he beat Ruiz, the thing that we were looking at was now he knows he can fight on the back foot if he has to. And he just doesn't know how to mix it up. This is what I'm saying when you have a lack, when you start doubting yourself and your confidence is not there. This is why when he throw punches now, it looks like he's trying to overthink how to throw the shot, how to put the combination together. And so he's trying to catch you at the perfect time to land one shot so he can set that up for the, second and third shot landed or whatever. He's not nearly as sharp how he throw his shots now versus then how he pinpointed everything. Okay, so this will probably be the last one we look at, but I just wanted to point out how sharp he was throwing his shots. And now he was, just look at how he's putting the punches together. See the shot coming, catch it with his elbows. I mean, look at how he's not letting this guy get off. Now, Kubrat Pulev, for example, Anthony Joshua won the fight. That's what matters. But this version of Anthony Joshua would have destroyed Kubrat Pulev. That Anthony Joshua right there would have got him out of there quick. So this is why when I listen to people talk about him like he never had skills, like, all this, he's overrated. It's like, people, that's your opinion, fine. But if you look at what this man used to do, this is, like I said, it's not trying to change him to somebody different. It's not trying to make him do things that he's never done. This Anthony Joshua, I don't know if we'll ever see. Look at how he went in for the kill. I know I said that probably the last one, but you know what? This one right here, this will be the last one. It's just amazing looking at it, because it's like, this is what I mean. Like when you have a fighter who you see the potential. Look at how he just in there, vicious. He's ready. He's not afraid to get in there and go toe to toe. This Anthony Joshua, those same opponents he fought, then this Anthony Joshua would fight them Look at his confidence. Those same opponents that he fought and beat, knocked out, this Anthony Joshua would fight them very cautiously. Look at how he's in the fire. He's catching those shots with his gloves, but he's in there and he's not trying to retreat. Look at the counter punching, jab to the body, uppercut up the middle. This guy, you see, and the point is this: is Green. Now, when I say he was green, don't get me wrong. He's not like he's not like I'm saying like he was trashed. He's nothing, far from trash. He was a solid fighter. What I'm saying, as green as he was, I mean, in his professional career, okay, as green as he was, look at how confident the guy was. And like I'm saying, this AJ would not fight those same guys the way he's fighting them then. This AJ would fight them. All right, you know what? I'll stop it when I stop it. Because I'm getting into this. I'm getting into this. Every time I see him knock somebody out, it's like I'm just getting more and more into it. Now you see how he caught those shots? You see how he caught those shots and he's right there in the pocket. So when he says, people are saying, you know, you don't fight like Mike Tyson. No, you're too tall to fight like Mike Tyson, first of all. You and Mike Tyson are two different people. Forget Mike Tyson. This AJ, that's the AJ that needs to come back. Look at the shots. Look at the combinations. This is what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Where's that hand speed when he fights Usyk? It's because he's frustrated. He's not confident that he can hit Usyk. Usyk doesn't make it easy to hit him. What fighter does? I mean, I don't like to say a person can't do something, because you know, especially when they once did, and AJ's only 33 years old now. But at 33, to not be confident in your ability to forget these things that you used to do, it will be hard to get him back on track. So, you know, if he sticks with Robert Garcia needs to be his head trainer and be the one he's taking instructions from. And it needs to be consistent. And to be honest with you, you can watch all the old fights and all the greats, and that's fine. But I would have him watch his own fights. I would have him watch the beginning and look AJ, look at what you used to do. Look at how much faster he threw his punches back then. This is what you used to do, AJ. We're not asking you to do anything that you've never done before. And the things that we need to tweak, you just add into your arsenal. This is not, we're remaking AJ, a whole new different AJ. Every fighter that says this, you know, we talk about, we hear, you know, Deontay Wilder and Malik Scott saying how he's sparring 400 plus rounds and he's done this and he's done that. And okay, that's fine. We need to see it play out in the ring. You understand? So it's different. Deontay, he is a lot of things Deontay has never done. You're not going to remake him as a brand new fighter either. Look at the knockout. I mean, this is the AJ that was confident. This is the AJ that, you know, even when he fought Ruiz, remember when he stood there and he took the belt as a show of respect, and he was holding the part of it and had Andy Ruiz holding the other part of it. It's like, what are you doing, man? Like, you know, the gentleman side of him, okay, that's all good. But it's like that nice guy shit. Like, no. Andy Ruiz wouldn't have been holding my fucking belt. There's no, the belts are up for grabs and you have to fight to win each time. Well, it's true. You got to fight to win each time. Yes. But the whole point is you're showing so much respect to these guys. I remember this fight right here too. But this is what I mean. Look at how consistent he is. Look at how he's relentless with his attack. Remember, Joseph Parker was the first guy he didn't knock out. Joseph Parker was a world champion as well. But he won the fight. But look at relentless. Relentless. When is the last time we seen Anthony Joshua jump on somebody this way? Even the much smaller guy like Usyk. So just watching him talk and listening to what he's saying. This Anthony Joshua wasn't talking about, you know, when you ask him, how do you beat this guy? Pray. a lot of prayer. He wasn't talking like that. Anthony Joshua was ready. This is the Anthony Joshua that used to stick his tongue out at his opponent when they catch him and he catch him back with a shot. Pause. So, case in point, people, when I look at what Anthony Joshua used to do, and I read those fights he had, I remember watching those fights. It's just the point. I was sitting there, and this is what I was watching the video, and I said, you know what? Let me talk about this. Let me just post something about this, because through time you have a lot of faces that see a person for the first time, and they see what you are now. It's like people watching Ali when he won his title back from Leon Spinks, and these kids are hearing them saying he is no doubt the greatest of all times. But what they don't realize is they didn't get to see the best version of Ali, which the Ali that beat Leon Spinks couldn't touch a prime Ali. These people seeing this for the first time don't know that. So even looking at Anthony Joshua, that's one of the things why when I talk about what he used to do, you sometimes you might see me kind of, it's not like I have a loss for words, or like it's just, I'm trying to just like understand, even in mid-thought, like, how did you just lose that fire, man? Like how? Even when Mike Tyson was at his worst, the Danny Williams version of Mike Tyson, and Mike Tyson still, only time you seen him going backwards is when somebody was landing shots and he couldn't get out of the way of them. But I mean, just tactically, and I'm not knocking Anthony Joshua or any fighter that learns to fight on the back foot. I think that's it. Why not? Because you're not one-dimensional. It's just being able to mix it up. But my point is, Mike Tyson, it wasn't the Danny Williams fight. I think it was the last fight. I don't remember the guy's name, but I remember that when they asked Mike Tyson they asked him a question about something they asked him. He said he keeps boxing. He said, I'm just doing it for the money. He said, I don't have a heart for this anymore. He said, I mean, no disrespect, but for me to lose to opposition like this, I'm just going to retire. I'm not going to disrespect the sport of boxing anymore. And he retired. And he was just being real. Out of everything Mike Tyson said that you ever heard him say, that's one of the most real things that he said. Most fighters have too much pride. Plain and simple. He not even so much the whole sentence, the whole paragraph, okay? But more so than the part of him saying, I'm going to retire because I'm no longer going to disrespect the sport of boxing, and no disrespect, but for me to lose the opposition like this, I have to retire. The whole part about him saying, I'm just doing this for the money, I don't have the heart for this anymore. This is where, when people say that they're students of the game, it's a lot deeper than just watching old fights. And especially if you're watching those old fights in all as a fan. No, you need to study what these guys are doing. But then, you're the one in there fighting, right? You need to study your fights the same way. Because why? You're studying you. That's the Anthony Joshua that I'm talking about. Somebody said AJ never do rapid fire comedy. I know, bullshit. Oh, yes, he used to. He doesn't do it now. Which is why I don't understand how he doesn't remember this. That's why I'm saying he needs to watch his own old fights. But at the same time, it's a confidence thing. Look at AJ's face when he fights now. He's trying to, should I? Wait, all right, nah, wait, now, no. Damn, stand still, man. So I can. It's like you can see the frustration in his face. Like he's trying to be careful. He's trying to not get hit, and this is why I like when I say Usyk is fast, yes. And I'm not saying Usyk doesn't have any power, but he was hitting AJ with some shots in the 11th round of the last fight. Anthony Joshua wasn't even fazed by those shots. He was just tired. And when he had that meltdown and he said, how did you beat me? You're not strong. Those punches, he hit him with, look at the shots he was landing. He's exhausted. He didn't go down. It didn't take that many shots from Vlad. And he went down from the shot more so because he was fatigued. But he got up, and that heart, that grit, that determination, that's what kept him going. Where is that AJ? Because even when he got dropped by Vlad, he didn't start getting on the back foot. It was more like a stalemate. This is what I'm saying when you watch a fighter. So watch. I don't know what Robert Garcia is doing with him. Like, what, I don't know what they do. I don't know what type of drills, what they're trying to change overall. But because he lost to Usyk, one of the worst things he can do is frustrate himself. You know, I don't know. Maybe there's several trainers I think about that probably could help Anthony Joshua. Robert Garcia, he has helped him because you did see improvements in AJ, but AJ is the one in their fighting. AJ has to know how to implement, figure out how do I, gain success in this fight against whoever his opponent is. But I think maybe somebody like John David Jackson, maybe Ronnie Shields, somebody that can, somebody that somebody that can tap into here, that can make him tap into here, into his gut, because he needs to understand who he is. You know, it's funny because we know professional wrestling is scripted, and we know that guys and girls really do get hurt in the ring. Things happen, and they feel real pain. Okay, they're not there just pretending. They sell moves and all that, but they really do go through things. We just don't always know. We can't really always tell when it's real and when it's just they're selling the move. But I was watching a segment of AEW wrestling, and CM Punk was in the ring, and he had came out and fought Jon Moxley. Okay, CM Punk got beat quickly. So it was a squash match, and pretty much he had injured his foot. So they have a pay-per-view coming, which they already had, but the point is the rematch is going to be at the pay-per-view. So at the last Dynamite before that, or after he got had his squash match, and then before the pay-per-view, he comes out and starts talking to the crowd. And he's talking about how maybe he's just not good enough anymore, like he's doubting himself. Well, the guy that trained him comes down the ramp. He starts interrupting. What are you doing? Like, what are you doing, man? So he starts yelling. Now, they're trying to hype the crowd up, and it worked. And he's telling, you forgot who the hell you are? You're going to sign this contract, and you're going to go in there. You're not going to quit. He starts slapping him. Wake the fuck up. Like, tell him, wake up. Slap the shit out of him, right? Crowd is going nuts. So CM Punk takes off his jacket and starts getting hyped up. And listen, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. Now he goes in the ring, of course, at the pay-per-view, and he wins. Okay, yes, it's scripted, and he knew he was going to win. But the point is, that the way the guy that trained him was on him to wake him up. It's not to criticize you. It's not to belittle you. It's no, you need to wake the fuck up. Stop being so goddamn nice. You need to get that killer instinct back, because it's not just a Usyk thing. You can get caught slipping. Any fighter can. You need to make sure that you are on point, because these fighters, okay, and people always know this. He knows it. Like, you can have that banana peel fight. I'm supposed to beat this guy. I'll go in there and smash him. And even if you feel like you trained for him, certain things you lack. When Floyd Mayweather said that there was things he needed to tweak or he's going to lose, it might not have even mattered to Anthony Joshua, because Anthony Joshua had already made the comment, I'll lose one day. I'll lose. But some of the greatest fighters of all time have lost. Ali, everybody. It's how you come back. So, ask Clarissa Shields, will she ever lose? Now, people can talk all the trash. They, oh, she's a big mouth American, all that dumb shit. But you don't accept defeat, man. You're going to have to beat me to prove to me you can beat me. And if you do beat me, you're not that good. I just fucked up. Yeah, there's no, I'll lose. Yeah, I'll lose. Somebody asks you, you think you'll lose? And you got to pause and think about it. Which is why I always said it's funny, because you guys agree with that part about AJ, but when Savannah Marshall gets asked a question, she has to pause and think about everything she says. It's a lack of confidence. Okay? It's a lack of confidence. I am not as brave as my words. I'm in front of people. I'm not gonna sit here and look like a punk. So I'm gonna come back as snappy as I can. She's not a loud person. She's not known to be really talkative. But at the same time, you've been asked a question, and every single question that you're asked, you have to sit and think about it. Stare across the room. No, this is not about stare. What do what do you think about this, or how do you feel about this? How do you, everything I have to think about it before I say it. Mm-mm. You mistake confidence for overconfidence, and then you mistake calm and relax for a lack of confidence. No, the woman is saying one thing, but deep down inside, she realizes Clarissa's not scared of me. She's really not afraid. She really, in her heart, believes she's the best fucking thing to women's boxing ever. She really believed that shit. And if you can't intimidate people, Mike Tyson was the same fucking way. Mike Tyson, I used to watch Mike Tyson, and it's like, you know what? He can fight. He's fast, power, great footwork, head movement. He mixes his shots up well. Short reach, but he's outlanding people that have a considerably long reaches. He's landing jabs on these longer guys. He knows how to get in. But for me, it was the Quick Tillis fight. When I watched and said, you know what? Because, the generation that grew up looking at Mike Tyson was saying he destroyed Ali. Ali couldn't punch, all this stuff. That just a lot of, but I was watching how Quick Tillis was easily he was on his toes, he was jabbing him. Mike could not get past that jab, right? So this is not about tit for tat, but let's look at something. You know how people would say, I've heard a lot of people say, they think that Mike Tyson would have beat Ali because Ali had tough fights with Joe Frazier. Now, to me, I think Mike Tyson might have a better right hand, which really doesn't matter, but he might have a better right hand than Joe. He definitely had better footwork than Joe. He was faster than Joe, and I believe overall he he had a better left hook than Joe. Okay, maybe. Okay, because Mike had an arsenal of how he threw his combinations. Joe was up and down, kind of move his head a little bit, but like up and down, and he lunged in with his shots. But Joe had no footwork whatsoever. He was just up and down, keep going forward. Mike Tyson was side to side, quick movement. He'll hop to his right, slide or whatever, slide back to his left. He knew how to set shots up, and people would say because they're so similar, like Joe and Mike is not similar in height, yeah, stature that they're similar, and the fact that they both came forward with pressure, but I mean they fought different. Now, if you think that Mike Tyson would have beaten Ali because you think that he fights like Joe, and Joe gave Ali problems and he beat Ali in a fight, which for one, Ali was out for 3.5 years and wasn't even training and came back and fought Jerry Quarry and then jumped in there with Joe. So, I mean, factor that in, okay? Two, the same way if you really feel that, well, you can say, well, look, James, Quick Tillis, he copies Muhammad Ali. He tries to dance like him. He even tries to throw his punches like him. He's like tried to be the spitting image of Ali. And he pretty much gave Tyson the business in that fight. Most people feel like he won. If it wasn't for that flash knockdown, when Tillis got a little too cute and leaped in with that left uppercut, tried to jump in that left hook, and Mike timed that shit and came on top and caught him and dropped him. If it wasn't for that, because people was actually, if you look at the reaction after they gave the decision, most people feel like Mike lost that fight. Now, regardless, the thing is, do you think Quick Tillis is as good as Ali? And people will say, nah, okay. So, I mean, it's easy to say that then. So the guy that you say fight like Joe Frazier, you think he'll give Mike Ali problems, but you overlook the fact, well, yeah, Quick Tillis copies Ali. He fights a lot like Ali, but overall, those guys that tried to copy Ali, they were able to copy the older version of Ali. No, I haven't seen anybody yet that can duplicate Cassius Clay.
I have yet to see anybody that can. They can try all they want. I have yet to see anybody that can duplicate that. They all fought more like the older Ali. Well, either way, the point is, even like I said, when Mike was like in that position of not being the same, he always came forward. You never seen Mike come in a fight and start out on the back foot and moving. Mike didn't do that. The most you get out of Mike is a stalemate. Um, I mean, Joe Frazier, he was trying to move and not be stationary against George Foreman because he couldn't handle George Foreman's power. He couldn't get past that jab, and when he did get past, he was getting caught with them wild clubbing shots, and he was hurting Joe Frazier. So Joe just had no answers, and I think that he could have fought Frazier. I think Joe and George could have fought 10 times. George would have knocked him out every single fight, in my opinion. So, when you're watching these guys, like I said, I don't know, people watch as like fans. I don't watch, I'm not anybody's fan, and I don't watch anybody to praise them. I give you your props for, what you could do, but it was always, I feel like you need to study these guys, break them down, understand why they're doing what they're doing, look at their time, everything. But then you also watch your fights because you're trying to be better than you. You're not trying, don't worry about trying to be better than Ali. Don't worry about trying to be better than Frazier or Foreman or whoever. I'm trying to improve, but I'm watching what they're doing because there's always something you can take from another fighter. So mentally, I don't think AJ can tap into that on his own. I think it's going to take someone that I just don't think it's going to be easy. And this is why I feel like he needs to take, some, lesser opponents just to get some rounds in and stay fresh and sharpen up. Because he's not a champion anymore. He doesn't have the title. Okay. And I have some other things to say about a particular situation that I'm not going to say in this video, but I just wanted to take that time to just like revisit the old Anthony Joshua because it's going to take something special, even if it's something simple that makes him just click like and get it back. But it's going to take him to be in that ring and being able to do these things that people are asking of him. That's why you get the right opponent. That's just what it is. So people can talk oh man, he ducking. No, it's not about ducking. He lost. He had 2 back-to-back championship fights. He lost both of them. Okay, the man is trying to rebuild, and this is what fighters should do. Your team can ruin you when they just keep putting you in the fire. Again, you can talk all the shit you want about Derek Chisora, how he comes to fight. He's always exciting fights, and he's always lose close decisions. But nobody's rating Derek Chisora. Okay, nobody's sitting there. You the only time you hear somebody bring Derek Chisora name up is if it's somebody who's coming off of a loss and feel like that might be a good comeback fight against Derek Chisora, because people always say he's in exciting fights and feel like that fight will get some attention no matter who. Okay, but at the end of the day, y'all, it's all up to AJ. And whoever you are as a fighter, it's up to that fighter to find it in them to be able to pull out what they used to have. And that's the key that people are overlooking. He used to do these things. So he lost against Usyk, but you saw improvements. How he learns how to put it all together. And I'm telling you, if he get back to throwing those rapid combinations, believe me, look, the problem is Usyk is not giving him anything. He's not giving Usyk anything to worry about because he's not consistent enough. And I feel like AJ's mind is preoccupied when he's in that ring. Like he's worried about stamina. You understand? He's worried about not punching himself out, so he doesn't trust his body. And on top of that, you're fighting someone that's making it very hard for you to hit them, but you're getting frustrated. So now all of this adding up, it's like he's not performing on the level that he used to. So, and that was the version of AJ. He was knocking everybody out. But then all of a sudden, when he fought Klitschko, people just started trying to talk like, oh, he's overrated and he fought a 40-year-old Klitschko. But then you can fight a 40-year-old, Luis Ortiz, and it's all good. So At the end of the day, we'll just have to see what happens, and it's up to, like I said, it's up to AJ to tap into and get it back. Now, if he can, we'll just have to see. If he can't, he accomplished a lot in a short time, and it is what it is. But I know what I used to see AJ do, and so instead of telling people, I said, let me just show it, because when these people are talking about fighters and they see them currently right now, they overlook a lot of little things too that they used to do. You see how AJ throw a shot, somebody throw a shot back, and he simply just, you know, quick little lean back, pow, come right back with the shot. And you see what he was doing? Come back with the shot, do head movement, the little feint. Then he, jab down, jab right hand down the middle, jab to the body, uppercut. That you don't see him doing these things anymore. So, let's be real. Yeah, Usyk is the best pure boxer he's ever fought. Okay, Klitschko. Um, those would be the top two on his list of who he's fought. Okay, but you got to understand, these guys are all human. I wouldn't train Anthony Joshua and sit there and tell him there's no way you can beat Usyk, or you have to be perfect to beat Usyk. And he told himself that he has to be perfect to beat Usyk. The only way he wins is he has to knock Usyk out. And that goes to show you what I'm saying. If you feel like that's your only chance, why were you so hesitant to jump on him like you used to do those guys? And I'm pretty sure some of them guys hit way harder than Usyk. They might not be as good skill-wise, but and you were in the fire. But when you were fighting Usyk, it's like Usyk can touch you, and he's trying to not let him pile up points, but it's like Anthony Joshua does not sit down in the pocket like he used to. I don't think he has that same problem with Wilder or Fury. Now, Fury, stand behind his jab, and he's long and just know a lot of tricks of the trade type thing. It's a different fight, but he'll be able to get to Fury easier than he can get to Usyk. It's different with Fury. That big 273-pound body, that tall, long, bald head, he's right there in front of you. And if Fury can't move like he used to. Anthony Joshua needs to understand this. Fury punches are only really effective when he sits down on his punches. Now, if he tried to sit down with Anthony Joshua, and Fury basically tries to throw his jab just to set that right hand up, and when she does that, you tie up, he tries to walk you back, put his weight on you, wait for the rest to try to break, then he gets right back in there, lean his weight and try to club to the body, try to use his hand to measure. And there's no way in hell that Anthony Joshua should stand there and allow him to do that. And with Wilder, basically, look, whoever really lands first, it probably is going to come down to that, because despite what anybody tried to say, AJ is a way better boxer than Wilder is. Okay? Wilder, and people keep talking like he got this amazing gas tank. No, Wilder he's not a busy fighter. If Anthony Joshua understands that Wilder can't fight going backwards, I'm pretty sure he sees that, he needs to back Wilder up. And even if Wilder tries to come in there 230, 238, it doesn't make a difference. He has scrawny, weak legs. He's all upper body. And pretty much his ego alone is going to try to make him knock Anthony Joshua out if they ever fought. He's not going to try to outbox AJ. So AJ needs to know, I'm not going to help him to look better by standing here on the outside. No, I'll use my jab in boxing, whatever, but I'm going to walk him down. Now, he said that that's what he would do before. And that's what he needs to do. If he fights him, walk him down, get him out of there. Instead of standing back, trying to, just figure him out. And, you know what it is with Wilder. Wilder is going to wait and wait and wait for that right hand. Wilder doesn't have good boxing fundamentals. He never has. Determination, grit, heart, that's great to have. But you see that when you get against other guys that's more skilled than you, if that's what saves you, same with Joe Joyce, right? It's things aside from pure boxing skill of being sharp, having a sharp boxing IQ, is you come short because of. So when people say like Usyk can't fight these big guys, you know how fucking big Joe Joyce is? Joe Joyce is not a small guy in height or weight. Regardless, doesn't matter what people say. You have two eyes that work. You have a functioning brain. Your ears can hear. You watch these fights and you see how guys perform. Out of every fighter in the heavyweight division, I've been saying this shit for the longest. Yes, Fury, he knows how to fight. But Fury, the best thing about him, he knows how to use his size. Being big is not all there is to it. If you saw him when he fought Derek Chisora, didn't it look a lot like the Dillian White fight? Derek has to try to find a way to get in, and he's not sure if he can land. He's trying. He winged that slow overhand. And Fury, meanwhile, moving around, slapping him, just playing with the jab. He's not even taking Derek Chisora serious. So, we'll see what happens with AJ. We'll see. Hopefully he can get it together. If not, it is what it is. Never fall in love with lies. Remember, the truth brings hate out of people, and I will catch y'all in the next video.